Sim obate papa na guy ma akuma mi gba mebo one ne go yesle anu ende Kalabari meten Dein na gbaribu sine ya na baraba ana so one na me e ko me ko baraba ana one na de big na babo emi ba jabo peke one na ko emi Nigeria bo Kalabari one na me e ko me ko baraba bo ana Mr. Marshal Charles ori Philippine bu oremi my grandma ana peke Tralapuye Alabraba ori Canada bu oremi try kama bo ana peke Boiye Cotterell, or United Kingdom bu oremi. Juma ane peke Wilfred Inko Tariah, or United States of America bu oremi. Juma ane peke Mr. Tamunosaki Opuoyibo, or one na quick temi Nigeria bu. Juma ane peke Mr. Alfred Seleipiri, or Canada bu oremi. Juma ane peke one imbre in Kalabari long job. Kuma one na ofori moke. Juma ane one ni gibo Mrs. Deborah Dein, Abbey. Are United States of America for Army. Numabo anepeke one in Mr. Ibinabo Orufe or Egypt for Remy. Not in the Esenap Magabo. In the Esenap, anyone Namako may come Combari Bay. I never sminapo, you up a bokma cookie and one with one man. I come at Tokomaribu. You don't go any better one with Pula. Get one from my Facebook, Instagram. One at the back of me be what okay on the pattern. Moko anake bravo, you are like oh, I'm not seeing. I am not over like over there. Bravo. I will tell you bravo. In the Kalabari, one method dinner, what was me and a barber. I'm book by Kalabari, one no book they were it. I'm book by Kalabari, what better me. I began book by Kalabari, one no book. I don't see Egbaniasi, the better method, troco. And come on, I better blood beard, Kalabari, what can one member at a bravo, what better man, what better fair. One of book they me, not me, yeah, and one that Mr. Inko Tariah.
Yes, Deborah.
Ibinabo sir. Kalabari ke one that bravo, one of book they me, what better what Bobby fear. They get one that bravo.
In what body baby fear, what a mechanic and a bill me, Borbu women and Chroma Boine, Wapeke, Jumo Simmer, Amamabo, so and Bobo, Anime Biopoma Remnese, Omo Krobia.
You go right, Mokumebo, Tamunosaki Opuoyibo. I one that bravo, what better me,
Kalabari TV. Man, I want to see the Kalabari below my Legitaquen. About the sound upon I became one and became Munju, Bikita, and Gap. I can't remember name about Kalabari, what boy beef ya. Can't go to Kalabari and then if Moko, Asari Biobo, ye, what they be a comma. You money about Bella, I'm not so be I'm not Asari Biobo. Ocean Obama, but became I'm not see ya. Money na boy ever tell me, yes, I do be a yes, sir. Are you treme? One more, I do a bacam. And I pick good and name Dugan, and then more come so, Bala Tamno come na. Tamebu suitor. Good I mean bar. One is St. Albo Moko me Dugari. If Moko, one me Dugate, one do go find come and mean bar. Why yana one lower here? The wine need the saki menjiba. What a Kalabana go menjiba to begin a brother. Digi, I am an apple. You are boy beef here. And Opuamame, and if you Kalabana, Mamebo, Bremen Bago, Dugibert, Kalama for me, no cocker. When I make in a Bulmabaka, that's the one who Puama. I go to Kodugari. I go to Kodugari. Yari Asari, Yari New Money, Yari Obama. One and a one trauma, one and a what me, you were about me, Laura. also in the first place, why that can go ebra. Why kroyana? One map Kalama in a seat in the first place. What was material in the and I mean Garrison, or let the whole local crew there. Come no we talk on one thing that go get what that's over. Come no kit and no because to boss of me. In the game, it's any akalo. Osiboso, it's any akalino the guitar in my year. But I'm a go gay and met a pacabo go and a power. So you walk for candy. And then, yeah, I'm going to do that.
You go bribe him. Mako, one day tell me below my Kalabari tell me. Now I'm for it. Mako, one day tell me below my. And they were in a tennis tell me and a barber. Kalabari tell me. And they bala, if you say about one day that's one day tell me and a be a monoso. Me just make a say that I remember Kalabari was asking one day tell me and a be and they can never. Yeah, okay, one name brave. Alfred Charles, Alfred Seleipiri,
for calling me up on this, and thank you for the Kalabari TV for inviting me to be part of this conversation. Yare Ake and Deborah, and I don't think. Sorry, I'll be moving from Kalabari to Bekinai or Ganimapa.
Okay.
I don't think we necessarily need a Kalabari governor to give us the road, the Trans-Kalabari road that we need. I can't go to me do Gabiane. Moko why in a rebe Trans-Kalabari road me. Kalabari governor and Kewane Prayer. It is not a Kalabari governor that made that possible. So, and because of that, I think it is not for us to get a Kalabari governor to achieve that. We just need a leader that is willing to expand development into the rural areas. Okay? Because a Kalabari digikma, a Bakana digikma, and other Kalabari houses. And it is good to spread development to other areas and not just concentrated in one area, which is Port Harcourt or Obiakpo. So, Yere Akane Bravo, Kalabari Governor Yaname, yeah, it's a good thing, but I know fear that in Bosobokma, in Boine Etelameyeba, it is somebody that have the mindset of moving out development to other areas that would do that work for us. And I can't remember. Well, why in Ayanaba with the support that one Kalabari Opuoyibo, we can actually start something, because it is not everything we could depend on government to do for us. Okay? Yeah, I believe we read that we have capable hands that can be able to start something on that front.
Wilfred, Inko, Tariah, Moke Tilame Bolumay, and this Mbra, why in the back as Strasrama and Barbara.
Well, yeah, Elimba Requensake, Bala, I met in the 10 men in Duga, so Omelamam, and if you Belalamam, Ome, Temena, organize it, Peke, Moko, technology go there, omni-nature, one in Google connected there. I hope that one in like one of member Google sort at some point in time, browser operator awareness, make creativeness, or browser need you but I became Alfred now agree lamam wa itilame yana wa me govern wa Kalabari government yana treme ania ibi governor te wa amadal bekuma ibi governor me amame dal bekuma onimiba say just like Moko United States for what me bane. And fear say all of a sudden one in Yanabari begin development because one other white man somewhere in Yanam go there. All of a sudden, one in Yanga Mr. Bush Marapo, one a share of the state. Now one a share my name, one a floor, now one a and Bobby one a sebeta about they one a gabu there and so there and John Latte who come okay. One right in a long way. Let's say if get maybe one in the Washia in a rare what save that one Kura was said on Quran. I'll come in and many years. I remember that they speak like Bobo, and Ibo, you speak from there, or Brianna Bukote, okay, every person in our commandants many more command of matter, Trapo Brosso, neither will be able to in Anga and mean, it be a extra one again in a country. Anime is Lamare in Okoyeni. Back to the road. Road me ebo amnese. One campaign any team. Why in it more campaign my name noisy campaign and yeah. Why federal government okay. Why the state they telling me federal government they telling me the key county tell us or in a paka water even now tell us or paka or come and declare what do you say? What one matter of a few things why do
you've also got smaller towns. Bitebe, where do they go? How do they get access to health amenities and stuff they need? So there are a lot of things that we have to consider. Once we have a structure in place, then we can go forward and say, okay, there's a need for this road. This is why we need this road. Our hospitals are back on, they're running. The banks are working. You know, these investors will come in. We can create jobs for people in and around these communities. So there are a lot of things that we haven't done ourselves. So why is the land okay? We're looking for road. Road to do what? You know, let's start by putting our own house in order first. You know, before we go, the people that represent us, are they really representing our interests? These are the things. So there are a lot of questions to be asked, and you know, but with this one, I don't think Kalabari governor is the issue.
Okay, what about a situation whereby you're trying to avoid being segregating because you want a Kalabari governor, and you see it happens to be like the strangers we are having as governors are not meeting the needs of the people. So how do you address that? And you know that if it happens to be we ourselves, you know you want a very trusted person that will meet the needs of the Kalabari. So how do you address this kind of situation?
It's difficult to address because we've not found that person. You look at the Kalabari as a whole, how many people, okay, last election, you had about 3 different people. You had Prince Will, you had Dumo himself, you had somebody else that was coming out as well. So all these people, they're not all speaking one voice. If we all speak one voice, we can have one person represent us. And that goal does not mean it could be somebody from Omekwama, it could be somebody from Angolama. It doesn't matter who the person is. But if we have one person representing us on what we need, because the same thing we need in Buguma is the same thing you need in Angolama. You know, the same thing you need in other smaller towns, you need them in the cities as well. So are they speaking on behalf of everybody? And these are the issues. So if we have one goal or a couple of goals and objectives to say, okay, these are the things that we want to achieve, then somebody can come out and represent us, somebody that is credible, because that's the most difficult thing, is finding somebody that is credible. Not today, because all I see for now, from here as an outsider when I'm watching these things, I see people that are political prostitutes, these politicians, because if they're not in APC today, tomorrow they're in PDP. So it's not about the party, you know, it's about the person and the credibility. If you think your party is not doing the right thing, speak up and change something. You don't have to go to, how many times do we see our politicians here moving from Labour to Conservative to something else? It doesn't work like that. So,
I'm happy to be back. ili fan kuma kati me la tebe tonwa parties tonwa po pakama to go te wa ne te wan ne bo kromate tete se gbogbo prayer bala member pakabote o bibiana.
Well, Adigobra is the credibility. A lot of these people that are coming up are not credible. In Kwekiru and Apu, people that are very close to them know them. We don't know them. They come. We've seen it over the years. People come and they say all sorts of things. Election, once they get voted in there, they're not fighting on our behalf. We can see the drama with the NDDC issue. It's the same thing. So that is the problem, is having somebody that is trustworthy. I know that government, I'm not saying that government everywhere is not corrupt. You know, they have their issues, but the things that need to be done has to be done, the basic things. So even the basic things, man, why now we don't have it. We don't. If you look at Buguma, Amongono, one apartment, when you look at that, we have a very poor health system. We don't have that. Our educational system is zero. Employment is zero. So there are so many issues. These people that are coming out, how are they going to fix these issues? Nobody talks about these things.
So you think that's the issue?
It's a big issue because people are coming out. How do these people, we talk about crime. How do you reduce crime? You reduce crime by providing employment. So you can't fight crime if there's no employment.
Mr. Marshal Charles, I'm going to say, 2023 academy. Did he Kalabari? Why did that be Namara Smith?
It's not possible. We just like Tralapuye Cotterell before this time.
Okay.
Kalabari and Abbey, I would like put it. Why an Arabic politicians, man? Truly, not politicians for the people. They are politicians for their selfish interests. So with that, Kalabari on its own. Long ago, we've lost our center of attraction. So before it's for us to regain that our center of attraction first. And in the waki, until this quality of be kalamabo, upamabo, me money nabo, me ililim nabo, until anime ki akakada bravo, there is no way so before Kalabari do in any coming election, until the Kalabari itself, to know who we are, to get our center of attraction, which we've lost years ago. Because you have to put your house in order first. So until we put our house in order, before we can take ourselves public for others to look onto us. So I share upcoming Akatime we know except before and the Sakimelame one abu boribu fie trembe. That is the only way we can achieve that.
All right, yeah, Alfred Seleipiri, yeah, making bula. Albraba, Tralapuye, Ebo Telema, Ayeki bula. Alfred Seleipiri,
China.
Moko ike Kalabari ni brabo. Why you need a sakete bala akati late? Kene Barbara to me Barbara, poison tenyambra. You take the matter and you take Ambra soba.
Yes. Why neighbor? Why neighbor? You know, Yarakana. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yaraka Alabraba is that we need to reorientate our people. Okay, we need to tell them the values of being a voter, the values of being a follower, the values of being a party member. Okay, we have to remember that people existed before the inception of politics. okay? And we have been living before now without politics and all those things. So we have to tell people how to do things right, and not to go and kill their brothers just to favor a party leader to win an election. You know, so yeah, kind of right, just to reorientate the mindset of the Kalabari people.
Mr. Tralapuye.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
No.
One in Boiye Cotterell. One telling me trouble me. One na sample ma woman. I need to mame. I think they are back ma. Use to take a Kalabari Land. Moko one na sample ma woman. Indeed, why imitate in a dream got the mama. Then they marry in a book take. Me Opuoyibo ma and marry in a respect. Give me broad life.
All right. First of all, as member of it boils down to all what we've been talking about, unity. Where there is no unity, there won't be any form of progress. All right, Kalabari as it is, there is no atom of, there is no unity at all. So Alfred go about orientation and all that. Orientation will come only when there is unity. Okay, when there is unity, the Kalabari people will collectively seek for something. Education, institutions, and all that. Kalabari as a whole. Nobody say Bonima want this, Buguma want that. Akana want this, Kuya want that. Kalabari as a whole come together and seek for these things collectively. And how would Kalabari as a whole come together? Down to the stakeholders. I see the Kalabari Amenable as the Amenable position or the Amenable stood as lacking, as slacking, as not functioning. Together, I mean, like to me, Bamok Amenable Bemnesel or a Bunma Mwegma, 2 was Tokuba. Both in Ostopubia. Amano Benes or Kakama Mwegma, 2 was Tokuba, both was Topubia. Amanabo Bakana Mwegma. Bakana or Impressiva, both was Topubia. Those things are not happening. In Kalabari town, Sekapu Sobofuri. Sekapu is what Kalabari uses as what they call attachment. To bring about unity, there must be an attachment. Like for instance, if you use Jamboree Mukuma, crowd, but collective crowd unity. Because a particular man on the stage, and everybody can enjoy it. Everybody, and that's what brings about the presence of everybody. We need an attachment. The attachment will be the Kalabari cultural system, the Kalabari head, the Kalabari leadership. Right? The way we have that, Mama will have that presence. Sekapu is one part of attachment the Kalabari usually to bring about unity. Yabuna will Sekapu, your Kalabari, not Sekapu. Ikakama will Sekapu, your Kalabari, not Sekapu. Who is the leader of the Sekapu? Amina of Kalabari is the leader. Yabuna Muguma, there's Sekapu, who is the leader? Amina of Kalabari is the leader. Use my woman, I was when I was like 7 years old. I was born in Bakana. I was like 7 years old. I tried to join the Sekapu. Finally, I moved to Abonima. See, the youth are interested in these things, these cultural things. Everybody go. All right? But then, you know.
Mr. Tralapuye, this is the Sekapu man. And I know
yes, that is the Kalabari presence in Amama. That will give the youth, you know, like when a Kalabanapo, what's a capital? In the movement, Sakapiana, you're going to move Sakapiana, there's a Kalabari in there. Where there is Kalabari, there is Kalabari, and then they use to function as Kalabari people. And when there is that, yeah, if you have attachment to like Kalabari, you have the Kalabari feelings, and then from there they'll be used. I'm going to use my gang for where into the gang for more because they want groupings. Use.
Okay, yeah, but I give to that. Oh, one has our my family group of Tariah so in the
I said to go.
This youngness and Tariah so in the so we open my them maybe group of Tariah
because the foundation is messed up already. So we have to go back to the foundation and repair the foundation. People have to like make sacrifices. So let's look at the upcoming king. Make good foundation for them so that they come up with a new Kalabari orientation after the government. You get that? So, yeah.
Mr. Opuoyibo.
I know. Yari, animebo, already Nigeria that Moko Tari to Mike Kalabari one enemy and it created and then met the Moko made Doko Saki will go Kalabari on gonna say what they don't care. So Moki do go memo ke and Pakreane Baboko Dokiba and then Kalabari Bem no so. Masi why so more? Why worry so there? Musu be okay awa. Umungap may be okay at there. Pakabo. Then be berete yai moku krumate. Pake pakabo ni biane. Brakwanama. Because he Tralapuye gola saki be Burupakatare sambe mi. So boko wine Brakwanama pembe. Loke na prekoma. If moko menga agbo isiogbo so right there asiogbo me na menje because anjo le krota ke bu arinje the moka goro we sinte bembo wa mutemo legite bieye ayeka le doke prewa amobra kono madawai apikini garibuwa ambakase fini ga ile ambakase wa garibu ni dia garibuwa I'm boduga menjo. Before maybe track ini akalo sona akalo soni akalo. I brought on my depo ya sami ye fijide. Ambobo ye kale krubu esake. Abamu neke si kejumo ye bia. But picking more duga bra me the idol's mind is the devil's workshop. So ya ka ne me digi bra. Ye wa Kalabari me first boy be fie. Wa boy be fie kuma. We ne mana o meme. Eh angana bo bra konama. Lari me war na ma egbolo ma egoge. Anjo carpentry mi, bricklayer mi, anjo iron bender mi, anjo painter mi, anjo ye bakam. Ane wa na ma ngangari. Because yanga bokuma moko wasa karo dokute Kalabari na ma kawa ma waru dokute molai inda Kalabari na aro telemai inda Kalabari na ko mata ya telemai jena ni mi awon ke dokuma te bote jene ma Kalabari na beria Kalabari na bote ta ya telemai bo fori abaji priapo ane bisra orari e toro peke abaji priapo na neta ya telemari japo fori so one so bokum
I didn't tell my kuma me ko ya ye ke kula Mr. Ibinabo
all right
Mr. Ibinabo Orufe
Ana ga mi are mi
okay ya
aina
okay ya gbere ki gbola ngamni imbrebe go sime yepo to mi gbere du gola ma mine Kalabari wo lusi wure moko mene wa na sambre ma wo ma
aina pikin sigola aina
bore ekwe management mine Kalabari wo lusi wure mene wa na sambre ma wo ma mine se wa mo ne brake ye pi owoko
oko odugo bra bikiru mengba ya mamukuma wana wa we mine in ereba in sukulu mu ba na krakra na edira wari mu ba na krakra ereba mine pulute bra bu ke gbigiyana ayanga ani mwe mo ongi pulo dereba angana jai ye na siogbo sona mina ima dugo bra iru mengba wasaki arodok wan mama late ya mamukuma ine kalabari bo eri biamne yeri araru telemai yeri ataya telemai o yeri ame yai wa peke bra konama da wa bia wa fanya igbigiana ba yana ba ngane wa dokie ane peke mete me wani opapu ma peke wani ma use as political thugs you can understand there ane go dem peke wani use as political thugs mokute like bekim bebra wan me kalaba na wa ma temi gba paka bo apuma one way japo we are being woke. It's for us to go back to our roots in a sensitizing proper orientation ken apre mete ni mimne sukulu mume sia ipiki ine school me muaso peki bra konama dokite dawa okome ba yere ba mne ya inye ya ite egbo naira na mai naira na yana bebe kini inebo ilabia mine bo alaga ke mu mi bo 10 ya 50,000 ke pre o bo alaga ke mi bo 10 ya bo 10,000 ke 100,000 ke pre ani mete yere mine ya mamu kuma bebe ba yere politician boy inkono ma dokia impiki bra kono me inyana impiki ke mu kono me doki bari e konda sane in a way to ma piki school mu ani wati edugai we should go back to our grassroots e konda sensitize them, let them know that education is the key. And if you're not, if you can't afford going to school, or like you can't go to school, if you can't afford going to school, you go back to learn a vocational skill that is going to help you tomorrow to feed your family. Because if you don't do all these things, you don't expect someone to come and start feeding you as an adult. You understand? Mina jaima ane mete awon ema imbrake si aibu sue iyo yibo late
na braso preboya na bokuma ndi go ba be
ane aduga yi ibraso preboya na bebe ipiki mu bra kona me dawaba janga bra kona me e dawa yi me igigigba because e dawa yi me piki braso anga me yana bo priye e kana e dawa yi bra me piki braso anga me yana bo priye so imbo iyo kiba like yeri as secondary school finishes sake at least art idea yanam amu kini na korem arogba amu osuku bra kona mame dawam e go understand the economy piki bode ba piki or assist here agbo na agba ke bra kona mame dawa apiki anime yewe ni da obe krobo apiki bo admission yanate school mu e go understand there like one ma Kalabari semebo one ba is we are too lazy. We are too lazy to start up from the scratch. Brina o madigi e yereba sukulu muabo o mukini suku simete brakona dawaba o mukini suku simete oyederangabu yederembo pereba kala odawawe ni inia kura sona kura orisobo osiwe nyanate saki onye pakama ba you understand here ane yeme so why barrier is for us to go back to our communities, give them proper sensitization, proper orientation on all these things.
Mr. Alfred Seleipiri, mako duye meko esia ambogbe mne brakro te bo braswake nyama bo pre kemete imboso bokro.
Yes. I don't agree, Laura. It's good to foster help when one is able to, okay? But yeah, again, Jimbra Kandigi. One Assembly most times I read that in vocational skills, you know, government vocational skill, some of them opportunity and they move that way. But in the what the pakabote in KAB so for because in got an vocational skill, maybe so maybe and in okay by big in your fan just like in big in a prayer so in big make and a prete or machine can a prete or a came sake. You may find that can make able sake. Instead of in you may use by na crack, imu derefie because an economa brame and an say bala lazy economa like bala yeah I know an economa corabia, you know, yeah white capaswa economa na doke, you know, like you want a professional job, you know, but why ne or cosmetic blackie one it don't remanga bia. AICB yana ike diri go bebe. Black on me and it be laure. And Kalabari Yarake one Kalabari Napma politicians and those in higher ranking. Yeah, I think they should open a vocational skill centers in Kalabari areas, you know, to help a lot of these youth. Bako wadu go brabo wa Tariah na ure. Kuma ba wana amnapu. Borba so tire fix ya. Borba so moto engine fix ya. But Japo ani fix here. Wana mama bio. Ibia.
It go bribing. Mr. Marshal Charles. Mr. Marshals. Hey, now.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, I know.
About the educated ones. Mom, 3 hours, mem, ile chapwere i krimo severete tiri dawa ni mute para wote bebo disi boye bi ni para so preba kuma emra so abete bi ya ni mo ko cosmetic politique ke
Okay. Oh, if Idi Ikuma, it will still bounce back to one I wrote to because generally Kalabari in Akuma to a large extent we so much believed on white collar job, which has directly or indirectly limit us to other aspects of survival. Just like inbred Guburame. Iridawareme is not like Idiridawareme Mutebumbe. Koinama Ofori is an understatement by your own belief. Because every day Isaki go gay different things are never kaibe. That is to say, Mingba imutawayeme in a Mingba and Kikoinama Korea, but in the Kikoinama Korea. So why wait till that part? You can generate something. Ibrinab Madigigma Brina Boyereba would Dawari Dirigo need professorship late. But Anisaki Ogo Redime or Anikeda Wakmu Ereba or coin and my one thing or the other Korea. But Kalabari now youth in general, I will not say it's laziness, but it's, I would like put it maybe lack of proper orientation. You understand it? Yeri mokine kwa mbo yeri criminologist. Or moko ine kwa mbe bra moko a criminologist ki kwa na makorea. Akwa na makorea as a crime profiler or whatsoever. On my own, this thing avenue creative frame. That is the problem, the one I used me back at home and that is the only reason why they've been doomed or been used as political thugs and the rest of it. Because the excuses they give is, after all, which is a lie. Then secondly, one the political elites in the Kalabari Land, they don't really have the people at mind. If not, Odugobrame, vocational centers, Kalabari, maybe if there are vocational centers in Kalabari Land, the youth will not be that idle. Even when if he's or she is a graduate, the person will take it upon himself or herself to say, since there is nothing for me to do, I'm munjuin that way so that I am obraswa ebo prewa ebra. But one of political highlights in Kalabari make a mind in any proper vocational centers namanga maybe that will bring development and move the people out of that thuggery, poverty, and all sorts of petty crime. In a level maybe now to elevate them out of that level. In a year, so if school mutebua pute koina mayana it still bounds back to the orientation which what and the society or the environment they find themselves. So to a large extent, I would say they are victim of circumstances, the circumstances being placed upon them.
Thank you very
So
much.
Anna Kenya and it go
Thank you very much. Thank you for that. For our ladies, one thing about Mrs. Deborah. Nine.
Yeah, I know.
For our ladies, I mean, one day now, ma, it's here in the magic kind. Don't you think they are going astray?
Thank you for that question. As the other panelists were speaking, I was jotting down so many things. My brain was moving. The women or the ladies or the young ladies, they have no direction. They don't know what they do not know. And so whatever they're doing right now is what they've seen. When my brothers talk about education, education comes from a Latin word called educo. And educo means drawing out from within. So we are having education from outside in instead of from inside out. And until we come back inside, Tamunosaki said we need to come back. I heard another speaker say we need to come back to our core values and our core roots. Ignorance reigns only where there is sex, religion, and politics. These three things have killed us. And we continue to do these three things. Therefore, we have no core. We have no culture to fall back on. We have no values. We're copying the white man's ways. We're copying the politicians. We're copying from the outside in. There's an African proverb that says that if there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. Until we come back to self, until we come back to polo, until we come back to ama, until we come back to the sekiapo, to the riaseki, to the onunga, until we come back to those things, we are lost people. This unity we're looking for starts from within. In Sembra cell phone fin na prete bebe, imuni na warrior sote. In Sembra if ye fin na prim bebe, imute in yebaring, because they don't know who they are as women. They don't know that they are the Sukutariapu. They don't know that they are the Warikobriapu. They don't know that they are the ones that give birth to the whole nation. So when you talk about Erim Nawoma, I'm very, very passionate about it. It is a reorientation and a reintroduction of our culture and our core values. Until we get to that point, everything else does not work. So in Yarinimia, why not Tulma Besakilate? Amabe me so what became Dikia, one Dikia, what commanded me, what make not be na Jabi Cam, because one name so what if ya, Derek my below you banas me, so ya woman in Fia, Nimia, base Nimia. But I am talking about the children back home. Akomumute where just like 3 times, 4 times a year, and Nigeria where me. I became Potakot Busma, Abuja Busma, I'm gonna now wearing. I told me I'm going to me. I really told me me. I go back to my core roots, and what I see makes me cry. So it's time for us to teach. Most of us here are over 50 years old. It's time for us to teach the core values of what we learned. We need to pass it down to the next generation.
How do we get them back on track?
Why not Tolmaga? We'll start classes, we'll start symposiums, town hall meetings to encourage them to come and listen. Have speakers like we have on the panel, preferably women, preferably women that they think or perceive as successful, depending on what success means to them. We need to start the talks, is to create the awareness. Let them know that they are loved. Let them know that we care about them. Let them know that they are our future, for without them, we are lost. They are the next generation, for without them, Kalabari Fate. We need to start the talks now. And whoever is here that wants to start, I am present. Mamenji, not to Steffi, one girl, if I can just encourage that. I will come. So we need to begin to plan, to organize, to put things together for these women, putting them forward. When we're growing up, we do needle and thread. My auntie, Opota, she's from Bile, she used to come and we will Mitepele. You see this injury that they used to tie head, now they use machine, they go China, whatever. We used to use our hand to cut, use razor blade to cut it and remove the threads to make the design. We used to do that. And that's why whenever you see me anywhere in the world, I have not started, because that's calling me back to my roots. That's calling me, we need to come back, do those workshops, teach them about how, look, there's no school that will teach you how to marry a man. There's no school that will teach you how to make money. There is no school. They will give you English education, mathematics, geography, this one, that one, that one, but they will never tell you how to have sex with your husband. So, but that is the procreation, not be so. We need to come back. Ibo telema babremi, Kalabari. They teach us to sombite one or telema. They tell us to, they teach us how to eat sempoko, how to cook. Jesaki, I've been with my grandmother on the Sombrero River, going in the mangroves, and we're picking oysters. You know, so these are things that we need to start to talk about with these girls. But I know that it's going to be a challenge, because the Opuoyibo, as you call them, already, no. If they know who they are, if they know who they are, it will not be the way it is. Kalabari, we need to unite. We are going to be lost. Religion has killed us all. McNapple, Jesus Christ, it has killed us. Because right now, if you start to do Onunga, if you call Akaso, if you call this Yayo, guess what? We are lost. That's why.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ma'am. Mr. Wilfred, Abier Agberegibola, Moko, Mina Mabo, Mojo, what go found by Mabo. Listen, but why in it, Kalabari, Beremete, Trocom Barba, and then walk a one nebo, Erebra, Trocojugo.
Kalabari Borodi Theatre Trocomume. Trokop Jubo, Yere Mujusmabo, I wanna mame digisake, Ibo amnese, wana dapo in a sakebo, in weni bemnese, wa state nidiure. Wa state me yanani bieme, finally River State, Mokus Marima, Elim River State me, got created. Yemi Smabo, Ibiongo, Yar engineer, Ibiongo, and Kepo Waperini Bianetie. One ma and Digikuma, Elim Sake Crabio. To me, school muba. In school, me mute, in my grammar school, me mutane secondary school, mute, Pakabo book, in Nimba Google, in Amawood soba. Just a few people there. And I got smete smapane teacher pote smete yetulma wate smem. So why see migration in a land right? So I name bobo yere think here net ye mock even till Kalabari that Kalabari tela meso trans Kalabari road meso. And I remember bo ane what okay net ye industry na job nake one ama sobo. And when I'm also bokuma, yeah, be at the anime where they go operate. Mok wa koko electricity do care. Wa miji bu miji do care. Me na remember go. Amabio and sobokuma. Konamo full bebe. Wa peke me take be wa so why na. And the practical end of it really. But when he konama kebo, one ama shop there up so. Inite in a woman care shop method data ibopu opu tomai terry and then in it in a woman care in a school bio suba ben a water in any day. But when I remember what lose it because ever so often and Crabio Yeri St. Michael Basaki and you pinji piki Keynes busaka initiate and you omubote as a jangamu. But mena eme paka na krabio. And paka me doke digi one ama moko all of a sudden we need to go picking my Port Harcourt Muabebe. Jim part of the so the other time sons and daughters of book names like US book. Wow, any Yana speakers with that. So and get a wapiki even trying to during the census time. We try to do health screening so that what hope we say to me, how much so good and then I can't one or two me but in I can't in a number do our but many I remember Ghana just temporary fixes. But my purpose and objective, the dream, equal questionable. And then one I may one sober and I pick hope me. So and sober baby. Then some of us would have realized their dream. Both government as well as private industry and one individuals, man. So in a kiboba. Individual man, bra crota pote na bra crolaman bekuma. In Konama and writing in a kiboba. Now, if even you come back briefly, I say I've made skills that what Tomapo pointed and Bobo do go there when Yanan Tambo. But an important thing I'm going to hear me and a book right? I remember in school in any time I see you there were okay, me while me dawa many of them say politics. Politics and ne fascinating with dawa and me. If dawa me konwake prewa no so jumo selective prewa. In when I'm make it kruma ite schoolmate in word of Mudawa okay in Dawa me this idea. Yes, here what say. Me skills job me and boost me it long time to school movie. Economic even the best thing because it bisakbo in it Dawa make korfeba. If mutemu Ebra nebo MKG am so and name is Ambuemi that is Ebra ebo employed economic pakamaboba. Here when mutemu no university mufante bote ibote sokuma dawa ibo to me group me Nigeria whole Nigeria bo to me group me te ni do konya do ke ma if am somewhere be here if I'm alright 4 years or 5 years member it's nothing if there is so farm the proper thing to think and I believe that we make mom when I pray and nephew right there one of them one of them school he is missing a lot of points and so he has so much difficulty or difficulty me kote ngwante he our the cat so finally he did some electrical stuff a trade so that omutemu university more electricity na ba but even with COVID-19 and then the important message I want to leave here that incidentally you must desire to do all these things in the corporate carpentry yeso sibina erimna sibiye and the makeup all of that me amabo and I know man he has made United States yeah Florida me in care ebo yesia and akume yefi black tank when one school university with there my na trainer go find it and you're pointing go there and not go probably
emete sai melama emete Tralapuye Mr. Tralapuye ya bigi gbere kigbola ya o mi ite
Agbot fine alright one song.
Okay moko itu abe amabe modern right
On the year Ronginanga, Ongi Caribbean country, so as in the second other, we now maybe if you are.
Okay, yeah, me again, Broma. Mr. Boiye Cotterell. Boiye Cotterell. Ain't that woman aware?
I got 4 girls. 4 girls.
That's awesome. 4 girls. Amabi men they would I
Amabi men if the oldest one, you know, Tariah, you read to her, she's almost 18. So Ari, she used to live with my parents. So Ari, Amabi Manna, but the other ones, they don't understand. There's a reason for that. Okay. The reason being is.
Yeah, Cotterell, yeah, drinking bila. Mojo what the wine? Ania, what the wine?
Yes.
Kalabari na ame market trokom barba. Kalabari mete gbede me barba. Mogo awa ma, mogo amabi mete yambra. Nde mogo what guy ma, nde wa ineta ke me wusu barba.
I think the first thing why Neyaware is one is Amabi Meferapu. Those of us that are very fluent, like among us and all that. We talk about creating something. Now, I know there are a lot of apps. You know, we can start by publishing books. You know, traditional books. These books now will be able, you know, can be exported, can be sold within Nigeria. Because if we have access,
make it very brief.
Okay, if we have these books in place, why not? I didn't want to say why didn't when we buy it, we can teach the kids. It will be a lot more easier for us to teach the kids. I think that's one way of sustaining the language and getting more people on it as well.
Okay, thank you for that point. Mr. Alfred. Mr. Alfred Seleipiri.
I know.
Yeah, because you boy troko kroma. That woman yana read.
Unfortunately, yeah, my woman yana.
Unfortunately, it's not unfortunate. There is time for everything.
But yes, okay. But for now, man. Hey, yes.
I'm not talking about.
Yeah, what on that?
I'm not talking about.
Amen.
One give a man wetted Deborah and Mrs. Deborah. I them, I woman, I'm a baby and they are. And then I was a tamper. Yeah, because what? Mr. Marshal Charles. Let me bring it to you. That woman, I read. Man.
Yes, man.
If you get what's now.
For now, process for me.
It's correct.
Sakibe process for me. Maybe very soon.
I very fast. Okay, yeah, one now. I'm the book, Mr. Wilfred. Yeah, make a truck or chroma. Yeah, man, and we read. And yeah.
Yes, I will man and right, but in Imba will be Umungia Pusote in our woman and right. So you're a grandfather for that.
Me, and me, you're pretty. Yeah, man, if you didn't already, I'm a baby.
Yeah, woman, in Okoke feeding, that is in feeding pool, in feeding, but in Kalanapuye, that is because Bosakabo, Arama, in a rural Aramabu, Sakabo, Amapuke boom. The in Nigerian English members, if you found out in the row, it's funny, it was interesting. So, in a question, good at TPK. Jai Pakere Airport. Honestly, no okay and Fidia. In a Kiapuna in a Tirapuna in Kalabari they may fear. But Kalabari man, I'm gonna and even I'm gonna garap so what this is like where him say. I met an anga Pakabu so in a gap and adapt na bari. Okay, Kalabari may fear in oh, okay, be right. So yeah, and yeah, good in Abaka in China.
Mr. Tamunosaki, upon Jamie. Was it there? Yeah, and me,
Aremi.
Me, I never saw Lamba. I'm a baby because you're doing
Yari ma man.
Menaima, ane wake Kalabari ke trokomba. Menaima so anemi wake Kalabari ke trokomba repai.
Yari ma wo me na tari bo mai bokuma. Ai bokuma Kalabari na bikia. So osu boy ro re te pakabu so kala. Kala ko. But Ari ya da kuma ai bokuma pie. Ai bokuma Kalabari na bikia. Ane mo ka digi pra Ibrahima ako to mo kala.
Tamna braso pre. Mago ako te me duga di fakma. Wanga woma mi asambro ma woma te wan duga baby. Ina di fakma e to mara kama be menden. Ina beto ma puto na se na peke na bra bugua inga mana ane bala fi na preba te jayi. Idi fakma ka go to big night me fi me shia kuma. Why need that jama if you win it? That's my one ma be me kingwa fama bia. Okobra anya resi one ngi boya egola. Mago yewa take ama aye manimi labrabo inde wa inete mi na ma be me economy kala ba na ma be me tamno su ambumala we beribo ambelela ma inde wa inete akes kama te won ke wan na wo me pre ba kemete awan ne bobo fabia Mrs. Deborah
we can start somewhere. We can make it fun too. Kalabari 101 live class, online or face-to-face after COVID. We meet on a weekly basis. We teach all children. We put them in different classes. Children, teenagers, adults, including me. I want to learn more. It is all possible. We make it fun. Kalabari 101. I remember when I was a kid, this is Inkpara, this is Megnabi Mena. My father and my mother, they switch to Kalabari. And when it dairy, make me a laughing stock. When I start talking in English, they look at me like, and they laugh at me. So I was forced to speak the language. They refuse to speak Kalabari. We can start there. We can teach them, including myself. I want to learn the language and make it fun. And brought up, create a Kalabari 101 app since everybody's on their phone. And brought Facebook, and brought YouTube, and brought LinkedIn, and brought whatever social media platform, TikTok, Snapchat, wherever these children are, we need to look for them and we need to get them interested in wanting to speak the language. And not just wanting to speak the language, we need to introduce the Kalabari culture. Our culture is so rich. Okay, we have bright colors. You know, we need to bring it back. And then that's the starting point.
Okay, thank you very much, ma. Mr. Ibinabo.
I name me.
I name me. Epa, Asamberbato, Brass Mewred. Man.
Yeah, my was mama piki. No, my was mama piki.
Mamma, indeed, the crash on my Deborah. Mago ibu di fan brame. Emene erobos mete sake ya omi kuma. Indeed, netre bo amate me sama de bokma anke e ya me tulma babra. Ke mete ni so anogo awon bongari fie biabra.
Tatare anegote watam no tekai. Opa mete wana made massime. Ibibo pa wane wapa ibibo te sime. Eka na zo yere wa bio da brabo e wa bio foriso. Tawamayine amabe meki awon mena fieba. Moko one way japo. E yere dabo Kalabari, Ingibo Kalabari. Ware la kuma. Junior, come and eat. Junior, come and do this, come and do that. Amabe meso in by name in piki keni awon ma toluma. In the mbraro, not that in the in a reba in a cap on a coin, come and amabe make a coin. Ingioma I cap with a namabi coin. Dabobe or cap with a namabi coin. But in our man a coin command, making be fair na prayer. Yeri, I mean, near Beking me in the Lawarime Mutebe, Mumbeking me Dawaba. Wari bio, and I be men that way. Yeri, as me bra God was about to go preamne, me Cassie, me impra, me no. Adwai brame, amabi me in na, Adwai brame, or come abo ibu le crimine, amabi me, a fiedimbre. Abo ibu le crime, and nimbre, amabi me, a fiedimbre. Chogote, Ingiwabio, anaki wan na ekware eda ano bikike wan na ekware saki men go dugo wan pray idire wari mute bebe bikina be me imu dawaba idin ya so kala before boy kura makura bikina be me isaki bi okufiete so wari bio ane wa ma be me fia wo ma prebari o come ebikike wa be bu fie na pre bebe yer ma mne ebiki bo saki dugo ma pre me para me dis already o den tem wan imbre Mr. Opuoyibo dugo bra orada ai bi okwa ma be me fia yer so nimbre mne apiki ite bebe o come ane apiki ke ya wo ma digi paka wa wari o come yer ma mne ama be me why Fabia
Amni Guma, back to what you were saying. Ibere go slim. Ben is talking about the culture. I mean, one among Gabra, one Namia. Go Alabraba. I'm not also one Guma where Kalabari. One Yemia Bravo. If you found Kuma, Kalabari was Sake Parabokuma. Damn, not be that you found the Parabokuma. You gonna put you found the Ebelamaba. Buapo, ane, one day, a man, a tobe, sabe. Uncle Mamma, one Namia. One among Gabra, one Abbey, and they were in town sack take it to Lam Bible. How do we extend our culture? And they were in town get to Lam Bible, can I want the bubble for her? Mrs. Deborah, this is for you.
Hey, Inganma, I didn't. So in the one you tell, one the blind,
and they want the one among Gabra. Kalabari na Abbey, Kalabari na Abbey, Lam Bible. How do we extend it so that it doesn't just get limited?
Well, I see one ke etela muba as such, but I think that because already Jama for one I my Froki fan there. There's a song Alabraba right now. Jama already, but in Pakabogbo Krikri, in a Lekriba, Nese, one amapwa, because either they've mixed up the clothing or they've mixed up something, you will know. So I'm not sure that we want to contain our culture quite all right, and yes, we want to showcase our culture to the universe quite all right, but we want to make sure that Anganga brame wake brama, meaning, for instance, in 18 June now in Wambia. For instance, so it could be there in one red baby injury can save now or in a blanket na amatiena, you know, in Wambia at the same time. So we need to again class 101 Kalabari culture 101. You're interested, you want to know how, join us tonight. We need to promote our culture for us first. For us first, then we can showcase. Because when we come out now, people already know what it is. I remember 77, I know you're trying to close this. First Act 77, when they were doing all those parades, these people, they called their Hausa people, they called these people, they called these people. The whole of Africa was in Nigeria. When Kalabari people came out, it was a shutdown. We are rich in culture. The whole world knows. We don't need to parade ourselves, but we need to pass it on to the next generation. And we need to be proud of who we are as a people, language, norms, values, culture, everything together first, within first. Then the world can only see us when we're together. That's how I see it. I don't think that we need to take it out. It's already out there. Some people copy us. I saw some people doing chieftaincy. They wear donny, wear wanty, and they put feather. I said, okay, no, be Kalabari will do that. You cannot wear donny, then wear one kind kilali, where they like fake kilali, then you put feather for your hat. Okay, walk on your hand. So we know who we are, and we need to continue to preserve our culture and pass it on to the next generation. The world can only be wowed when they see us come out. They will see it, but we need to start from within.
No, one in Brahma do go fancy, but inimia be inimia. Ane peke wane bof kamare moko mesaki. Wane bue ton apo. Yime yebra wane mi amoke japeru amno so ni jirike. Suku we wane peke jirike peke say finawore. If you manning by the same color, you know, everything go all better. And of course, many there. Moko mesaki ikperinapo etiboke bote. Brinapo etiboke bote. Anyone etibo mere come. And any etibo come. Yeah, etibo singungumai. You know, a walker my mocking walk off funky fighter. Walk up by walk off kita. So one of the of the game I may follow. But one follow Libya. Rather one you may both settle and many Libra than ye kuma. And brass one a preba. But Tari one mini beam and dance many Libra. And Mutemoko you need to back it on and take the akma. I thought any other person if you get to bug being previa. And that's me, bra. So Japo inimia ibokuma mi abem no me e Anton Lawanga mi yetibola ni bibra ya Kalabari na bo. But Japo inimia me dem polute your brina po na perna petipo bintake na pre. So troko mubu me na me watara ni mi wan ni mi abebe wine and troko mubia. Inimi ani ne ke troko mu ari.
Emelama. Me one me opoku pakali. Me within ourselves. Me one na sambrama wa magulumai. Ena di fan kwa moki bigisima mbari jendo kea. Kalabari na aso ambari jema nke also ke na srama. Kuma wa ine te one bra ikote okomeke na digweni imubiambia. Ankuma ndi wa ine te moko me te one na sambrama wa ma Kalabari na ame mabo sopi de babra. Ke mete iniso ame busnuma. Alfred, Mr. Alfred, help us with that.
The question make
how can we imbibe the Kalabari culture into our youths to make them to be fully part of it? Because they seem to live a life of negligence towards the Kalabari culture. So how can we get them intact?
Kind of bravo, one in door and one in brain do bravo. One again at Tulumani Biure, you know, most of one mama, mena my nimia, you know, Yaribe so jai manimia Kalabari and they were dressed a pakabote, you know, Kalabari as a kabote, why it be bravo, you know, jai anemia. So mena ma from one in Waremebio. What dawa pakani biure ebokma and you know make them feel the value of the culture that we have. Yere I'm a proud Kalabari man. I bekna me just Sunday I beat a Kalabari wakome swate pakabote ke church mwe and church been yere kuma and by yeah be ibimu you know itangabo aduke na be Kalabari me was why be and you know, it makes you feel the people are seeing the sense of belonging where you come from, and they are seeing the value, you know, you're coming up with. So I think we need to bring that into our own people. You know, we have to make them see it that we are people of great culture and heritage that we need to show the world.
Thank you very much. Mr. Boiye Cotterell. Amboy Laurel, Nebo, Pulobrabo, Amboy Edugo.
Everybody, you know what the game, what they've said already is the truth. We have to be taught. I think even myself too, growing up, and then why be with my parents, I'm gonna be my fear because they died and all boogma, you know, sorry. So, but there are certain things that they don't show you. So like bitere and things like that, what they are called. We don't know, a lot of us don't know these things. So once we need to be taught. So the people that know need to teach the young ones, because if you teach us, then we can follow. You know, Kappa maybe 1 year, maybe 80 ball, Wako, Donny, those little things, we know them. But if you go deeper, we don't know other things. You know, but we don't know that. You know, when I get up in so we have to be taught. Until we know these things, then we can follow the process and teach others too. And that's the only way.
Yes, ma'am.
Very brief, yeah. I can hear you.
Okay, so the main point is Kalabari right now we have 3 LGAs, 3 local government areas. The functions of these LGAs are what beginning here. Okay? What culture in our way? LGAs may should come, sponsor cultural activities annually and those kind of things. Right? And another thing I want to quickly say is this: Kalabari right now, let us consider ourselves as a merged community. But if you look at Buguma and Edo to Abalama, it's almost like one community, right? That's how Port Harcourt is. Port Harcourt was not made up of one community. Different room of this, room of that, Abuloma, this or whatever. It's all made Port Harcourt. Kalabari is almost like that. If you travel from Degema to Obama, it's almost like one town. So why do we still see them as different communities and all that? So the local government, whatever, should now come together and make an urban plan and all that, and then institute these cultural activities for them annually. Degema right now should be made an entertainment center. We have a mini stadium right there where cultural displays will be taking place all that annually. That's what we want. Now, with that kind of cultural activities annually, our culture will continue to remain.
Thank you very much. Cultural activity, I think that's one good fact. Yes, you've spoken well. Thank you very much.